Throughout gaming history, there are games that stand above the rest, known as classics to the generations that grew up with them. But as the years go by, these games age, and what was once seen as a standard becomes obsolete. So in this series, I'm here to ask, are these gems of a bygone era worth playing today? Let's find out. Half-Life was the very first game from Valve Software, the company known today for games like Dota 2, Counter-Strike, and the PC gaming juggernaut that is Steam. Back when Valve actually made games, they were really good at it, taking the industry by storm with their very first title. Even developers like Rockstar, who rule the gaming world, started out small, but not Valve. Released November 8th, 1998, Half-Life was seen as the next evolution of the first-person shooter genre. Shooters of the time were all about action. Games like Doom and Quake ruled the landscape, but lacked a meaningful story or any substantial world building. Demons came through a portal. Kill them all. That's all you need. Kill them. Shoot them. Funny thing is, Half-Life followed a similar story, but instead of it being implied, it let you see every step. Half-Life starts with a man on his way to work, taking the tram through the Black Mesa Research Facility. This facility is the setting for the entire game, and this intro shows you how vast it really is, as well as shows you the normal daily lives of its inhabitants. Seeing the facility before it inevitably goes to shit really lets you feel the destruction, and even more so because you caused it. So Half-Life was praised in its day for a living, breathing world, but how does it feel today? Well, surprisingly, the environments can still feel very alive. Friendly NPCs in the intro can be seen wandering around and performing tasks. You can also come across NPCs during the main game that will talk to you and give information about the story and what's going on around them.
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're...
This was something Half-Life was praised for on release, having characters talk to you in normal gameplay without going to a cutscene, and this is still effective today. The game still shines when it comes to audio design, with great sounding weapons and sound effects all over. And the voice acting is also pretty good, making you feel like these are real people, even though they certainly don't look like it.
With my brains and your brawn, we'll make an excellent team.
Visually, the game's graphics are dated, which is the nicest way I can put it compared to modern cell phone standards. Level geometry is simple, but works well enough for indoor industrial levels. It's the game's few outdoor environments that are truly an eyesore. Textures are probably the hardest thing to swallow, with every in-game object looking blurry and undefined. The game's character models are also hard to look at these days, with incredibly stiff animations, but alien creatures fare much better with their unique designs. I am playing the Steam version of this game, which has been updated to run in HD. Although the textures are messy, the game can look sharp and clean after your eyes adjust. Half-Life's visual quality is obviously rough on the eyes these days, because of it coming out in the early days of 3D gaming. While many games from that era have not aged well visually, Half-Life's gameplay has fared much better. I played the Half-Life demo when I was younger after Half-Life 2 came out, and remember being impressed at how the guns still felt punchy and responsive. That still stands today, with the great sound design guns packed a punch, whether it be the SMG, shotgun, or weird alien pod thing. Movement-wise, Half-Life is a weird hybrid between the old and new, a transitional period between Doom and Call of Duty. Movement in Half-Life feels so fast compared to modern games. There is no sprint button, so you default to running speed no matter what. This is clearly a carryover from the days of Doom, but does feel odd with the game's more cinematic nature. You can slow down by holding shift and walk around the environments and appreciate what's around you, but the game seems to encourage you to just keep moving forward. But this movement does work well with an outdated element of Half-Life, first-person platforming. Many puzzles in the game involve jumping from platform to platform, which is rarely seen in FPS games anymore. Despite these weird puzzles, the rest of the game still feels relatively on point, with each new area providing different gameplay scenarios and events. Definite benefit of playing the game today is its loading times between sections. They used to take over a minute, but now they're pretty much instant.
Hello there.
The game also downloads in under a minute, so that's pretty sweet. Oh my God, we're almost out of Wi-Fi range. Hurry up, download something quick. Surprisingly, as of this recording, people are still playing Half-Life's multiplayer as well. Sure, it's only about 10 servers, but for a 16-year-old game, that's pretty interesting to see. That being said, the multiplayer is as basic as it gets, with just arena-style shooting that can be fun in short bursts, but won't keep your attention for very long. Half-Life is considered one of the best shooters ever made, and while it's getting harder to see why today, it still shines in some ways. The game still gives off a level of confidence in its production and design. And on the positive side, it will run on almost anything. Toaster? Yes. So is Half-Life still worth playing today? It's still a pretty well-designed game that is paced pretty good for a linear first-person shooter. Some of the jumping puzzles feel very out of place these days, but scenarios with enemies are still very engaging. If you can get past the game's obviously dated visuals, Half-Life is definitely still a solid shooter. No longer at the top of the pack for sure, but still notable as a good time. I wouldn't really say it's a must-play game anymore, but if you're curious of one of the FPS genre's biggest influences, you'll still find some things to enjoy.
No! Stay back!
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button to support the show and subscribe to the channel if you're not. Also, leave a comment if you guys have any games you think I should cover in this type of series. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.